The story I want to tell is not just an ancient legend. It is an archetype. This is a narrative that repeats itself in every person's life, whether they have read the Bible or not. It is the story of David and Goliath. Of fear, of faith, of courage. To understand the full depth of this story, let us journey back to the ancient world. Imagine two armies standing frozen against each other in the valley of Elah. On one side were the Philistines, a powerful people who possessed the secret of ironworking. Their weapons were stronger, their armor more formidable. On the other side stood the army of Israel. Tension hung heavy in the air. The valley that was meant to become a battlefield had turned into an arena of collective fear. And the reason for that fear had a name. His name was Goliath. He was not merely a tall man. He was a giant warrior. The Bible says, he was over 9 feet tall, 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 4. Imagine this figure stepping out from the ranks of the Philistines. The sun glinted off his bronze helmet and his scale armor, which weighed about 60 kilograms. His bronze greaves gleamed, and in his hands was a spear whose shaft was like a weaver's beam, with an iron tip weighing more than 7 kilograms. Every morning and every evening for 40 days, Goliath descended into the valley and hurled his challenge at the army of Israel. His words echoed between the hills, burrowing deep into the souls of the warriors. "Why should you all come out to battle?" he shouted. "Choose one man from among you, and let him come down to face me one-on-one. If he is able to kill me, then we will become your servants. But if I prevail over him, then you will serve us." When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. A psychological paralysis gripped the camp of Israel. The people looked at Goliath and saw an insurmountable wall. They thought something like this: he is far too enormous to fight. And then, in this moment of crisis, the one whom no one took seriously stepped onto the scene. Into the camp came a young shepherd named David. He was the son of Jesse of Bethlehem, the youngest of 8 brothers. He had been sent to deliver provisions. His father sent him to visit his 3 older brothers, who were serving in the army, and to bring them gifts, roasted grain, bread, and cheese. David had not come to fight. He was not a soldier at all. He was a boy with a shepherd's staff, accustomed to the solitude of the fields, not the clash of swords. When he arrived at the military camp, he immediately heard that thunderous voice booming from the enemy's side. He saw mighty men turn pale and retreat toward their tents. Hearing Goliath's taunts, he asked the soldiers standing nearby, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?" For everyone else, Goliath was too big to fight. For David, he was too big to miss. David went to King Saul, and the young man said, "Let no one lose heart because of him. Your servant will go and fight this Philistine." Saul was astonished. He tried to appeal to reason. "You are not able to go against this Philistine and fight him, for you are only a youth, while he has been a warrior from his youth." And here comes perhaps the most important part of the story. David's answer reveals the secret of his confidence. He said to Saul, "Your servant used to keep his father's sheep, and when a lion or a bear came and carried off a lamb from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued it from its mouth." And David said, "The Lord, who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear, will deliver me also from the hand of this Philistine." Saul, perhaps out of desperation, agreed. He tried to give David his own armor, a coat of mail, a bronze helmet, and a sword. It was a deeply symbolic gesture. David put them on, but he could not move in them. "I cannot walk in these," he said, "because I am not used to them." And so he took off the armor that was not his own. It is a lesson of profound importance. To defeat your Goliath, you must not try to be someone else. If God did not give you Saul's strength, do not put on Saul's armor. You have been given something that belongs to you alone. David took up what he knew best. With his staff in hand, he chose 5 smooth stones from the brook, put them in his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in hand approached the Philistine. Now let us see through Goliath's eyes. He had waited 40 days. And then he saw someone coming out from the enemy camp, a boy. No armor, no sword, ruddy-faced, with a staff in his hand. To Goliath, it was an insult. "Am I a dog," he thundered, "that you come at me with sticks?" And he cursed David by his gods. He threatened to tear him to pieces and give his flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. In moments like this, psychological pressure reaches its peak. But David did not stop. He ran, not away from Goliath, but toward him. And as he ran, he cried out words now carved into the stone of eternity. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, But I come against you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." And he proclaimed what would become the central lesson of that battle. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's. His hand plunged into the bag. His fingers found a cold, smooth stone. It was set into the sling. David spun it with immense centrifugal force. In that moment, Goliath was likely preparing to raise his shield higher or hurl his massive spear. But he was too slow. The stone flew from the sling. Impact. The stone struck Goliath directly in the forehead, the one place his armor did not cover. His armor did not save him. His size did not save him. His strength did not save him. The giant who had terrified thousands fell face down to the earth. A thunderous crash rang out, as though a mountain had collapsed. Then came silence. The moral of this story runs deeper than simply, have faith, and everything will work out. Notice this. David did not stand with his hands raised, waiting for lightning from heaven. His faith was revealed through action, in a precise, practiced, and fearless cast of the stone. God gave him strength, but David trained his hand. It was the synergy of human skill and divine guidance. This story has remained with humanity forever because Goliaths never disappeared. They simply changed their form. Today, Goliath may take the form of serious illness, losing a job, coldness in relationships, or the inner voice of depression that mocks you every morning like that giant once did. And here we see the central mistake the army of Israel made. They looked at Goliath, and then they looked at themselves, and the comparison was not in their favor. David, however, looked at Goliath, but he did not compare him to himself. He compared him to the greatness of God. Let this story remind you today. The greatest weapon is not the absence of problems, but the presence of spirit. Perhaps right now you are standing by your own brook, and God is telling you to choose 5 smooth stones. What are those stones for you? A stone is a specific small action through which a great victory begins. Never disregard your shepherd's staff, the gift or talent you already possess. Do not envy Saul's armor, someone else's status, or someone else's connections. Your uniqueness is your sling. And do not wait for Goliath to come closer. Do not run away. Run toward him. Because the greatest victories in our lives happen precisely when we stop retreating and take a step of faith forward. Thank you for listening to this story. And may your giants fall. May every Goliath standing before you today, whether fear, illness, loneliness, or despair, meet the stone of your faith. May your hand not tremble, and may your heart not be afraid. For the battle is not yours, but God's. And the victory is already won. Go in peace. And remember, giants do fall. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Tell us which Goliath you are fighting today. May your faith prevail.